What up? What up? Welcome into Pregaming over here on Sports Money. Appreciate you guys coming in and checking us out today. I am a little frazzled. You won't believe it. There's an educational component to this show as well. We'll get into what we talked about yesterday. But today I'm going to talk about Murphy's Law. If you're not familiar with Murphy's Law, it states that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. What could go wrong? 5 minutes before the show, the internet stops working. Yikes. I was in full panic mode going, turn back on, turn back on, turn back on. It turned back on, and here we are. We're pre-game, and we're getting ready to go after tonight's slate. And, there was a little bit of a panic there. I wasn't sure how this was going to come together. Then the passwords didn't work. So, look, human just like everybody else. But we got ourselves action tonight. We got a card full of Major League Baseball games. We got ourselves some action in the WNBA. Can't keep him away. He said, let me get back in there. We're bringing back in Billy Briz tonight to talk about these games in the Ladies Basketball Association. Excited to hear what he has to say to get us paid. Woo! We take a deep breath here. Whew. Okay, we can get to work now. We got the internet up and running. We got all the sites back up and running. Oh, not all of them. Let me get this one going here too. Bear with me, you guys. Apologize. Things just literally happen when you don't want them to happen. Let's see what's going on, you guys. Smash that thumbs up button for me, please. The least that we can do to start this show off is hit that thumbs up button, and then we will talk a little bit about what's going on. Of course, you guys know the deal. You got to get that pen and paper with this chat. They're firing on all cylinders, sharper by the day. And of course, you guys know we need your plays in the chat there. We're going to see what you guys are on. We do have full action tonight. Lots of things happening across the board. Listen, let's talk about the NHL last night. Edmonton, not looking good. Starts out good, can't finish it off. Major League Baseball spots out there. I don't have all the full notes from yesterday in front of me, so just bear with me while I try to get these things up. But, we talked about the educational component yesterday. I talked to you guys a little bit. Maybe it was the first time you've talked about implied probability in the sports betting business. But, we talked about this opportunity specifically with the Whitesox. Now, the White Sox puked it up at the end. That was disgusting to see what happened there. But we took that shot with that first five. We took that plus 160 shot. We talked about the likelihood of the White Sox winning versus the number of times Seattle gets the job done. And it was a push. It was a plus 160 push. Now, if you took the plus a half, you remember I talked about the plus a half. That was around plus 105. So if you were looking to be a little more safe, then you cashed with that thing. But just an example of trying to leverage these numbers and metrics. I wanted to go back after him again today. I don't like this rookie pitcher. Not that I don't like this rookie pitcher. I just haven't had the opportunity to get excited about what they've got going on. But we do have plenty opportunities to get us paid today. So let's do just that. Let's see what you guys have kicking around the chat here. Of course, our first commenter, as always, with one asterisk, that was my fault. I will own that time, Joe T. The Joe T best bet today is the Cardinals team total over 3.5 from our guy, Joe T up in the house. Deer Slayer Skis in the house. He says, hey, Mike, hey, players. I'm on 2-game parlays with the Pirates, Mariners, Tigers, and Diamondbacks, all tied to the Dallas Mavericks first half spot, game number 3. You already know I like that first half Maverick spot there. We talked about that on the sesh yesterday. We'll talk about that again as we get moving towards the NBA. Tonight we have WNBA, though. And there's our guy, Sick One's up in the house. There's a new name I haven't seen commenting yet. It says Braves or Orioles. I got to play for you in that game. I'm excited to share that one with you. We got a nice little trend that we've been cashing on with that spot there. Justin McKelvey giving us the stacks play of the day. He likes Quant over 1.5 bases at plus 114. And you'll see my guy is a true grinder like the rest of us out there, working on getting himself that cash. Good to see you, Justin. And Gerald Jones says, what's good, Pip and crew? Best bet for him, the Mariners run line. Full game out there for our guy, Gerald Jones. There's JPZ in the house. What's up, JPZ? I always get excited to see my guy JPZ rolling around with us, doing his thing. Oldie says, what's up, dudes? Another long day on the job site. No pre-flop action. Hope everyone's having a good day. I'm having a better day now that the internet's working. I keep looking over, waiting for that stupid light to go orange. but it's green. It's always green until I need it. Then it's orange, and I run everything off of IPTV. So if that ever happens at night, I'm just staring at a black screen. Not fun. There's my guy, Subhuman Gaucho. What up, Gaucho? Good to see you. Winner Circle says, hey, yo, it's Skeens Day. Skeens over 7.5 strikeouts and the Pirates' first 5 money line. It's interesting note that I saw with Skeens. How about every one of Skeens' starts have gone over? They get a ton of run support. He gets a ton of run support. But every one of those games I saw for his starts have gone over the total. Kind of not what you would expect with the second coming here of this guy here, and Skeens getting the job done. But interesting spots there from our guy, Winner Circle. Kelsey says, Mikey, my guy. What's up, Kelsey? It's good to see you. Justin McKelvey's got a late ads. He likes the Reds over 4.5 team total at plus 104. Kelsey saying, smash the likey for Mikey. Please do just that. Let's go. Fernando Mendoza's in the house. Says, what up, Sports Money crew? Good to see you, Fernando Mendoza. Subhuman Gaucho says, rather like a chalk parlay for PFL card on Thursday. Here we go. We got a little action for PFL from our guy, Subhuman Gaucho. Carbooch, Talia Santos, Goltsov plus 109 at BetMGM. Expect these lines will continue to get steam by Thursday. And I got a nice message from my guy today, Sub, talking about a play you liked. I said, I like that spot. And we've seen that line get moving. So good stuff to capture early. We got 2 days to get that action laid in. Kelsey says, nice polo. Thanks, Kelsey. Thank you. Appreciate that. Fernando Mendoza says, make sure you leave a like and share, my guys. Please do just that, guys. We need your help more than ever to get this thing built and rolling. We got lots of fun things going on. I've had some great conversations. I just had a great conversation pre-show as well. And then the internet came down as I came back. So shame on me. I thought I would have more time. You can't count on the internet when you need it. But get excited, guys. A lot of you guys are excited about what's going on, and I'm excited. That makes me even more excited. So I can't wait to keep doing this thing with you guys. Kelsey says, JT is actually an AI bot. That's why he's always first. I can assure you, he's not an AI bot. He's just a good dude. And I like hanging out with Joe T. Dana Delp says, sup, guys? Gonzo's in the house. What up, Mike? It's good to see you. Trisha M says, good evening, chatters. Trisha M, shout out to you and your cats. And apparently DJ Khaled. What's up, Mel's in the house? Says, hi, Mike. I'll be riding that plus 155 Florida Game 1 series double all the way. And you should. I think the number was 71 and 63. I don't have it in front of me, of course, but earlier research, 71 times a team has won the first 2 games of the series in the NHL, and 63 times they've gone on to win the whole thing. So not looking good. Also, we saw that in the Mavericks series as well with the Celtics. It's running around, and I think it was a 90% win rate. When they win their first 2 games at home in an NBA championship, they win those series too. So we'll have to see if they're all but done. Dana Delp giving us the Ellie De La Cruz plus 165 RBI. Like to see that. Kelsey's killer play of the day. There we go. We got a new one out there. Is Mikey over 1.5 cocktails tonight? I'll be smashing that over for sure. I had to start thinking about what my cocktail of choice is going to be tonight. It's going to be vodka. It's summertime though. Summertime to me seems like lemonade and iced tea time. So we'll see how that goes, Kelsey. But I would feel comfortable taking that over. That should be a lock of the night there. Kelsey's killer play of the day is going to get that cash. Juggler 23's in the house. MLB trend of the night. Dane Dunning is 4-21, minus 18 units in road night games at minus 155 favorites or worse, including underdogs in his career. That's a Dodger spot. And shout out Juggler 23. You got that WNBA cash again last night, my guy. Good for you. Jeffrey Blue says, let's go, boys. Dana Delp likes Philly and the under plus 206. Coin says pitching change for Seattle. Woo out. Diaz in. That's great. That's great info. That's really great info. That might lead me to want to take the shot. We'll have to see how the line moves in that White Sox. I may be adding that White Sox first 5 again. Full game, they suck. We talked about that yesterday. But first 5. Can't really run the implied probability because we don't know what this pitcher is going to do. But nonetheless, I hope you guys found that conversation, maybe beneficial, at the very least entertaining. I don't know what you want to call it, but there's certainly a lot of math that goes into what we do on this stuff on the regular basis. Trap God's in the house says, hey, Mike, let's get it tonight. My best play. He likes the Braves and the O's under 2.5 in the first 3. Got it in at minus 120. It's moved to minus 135. He likes the move. Real Deal Prime says, good day. and he's got himself what's the play is what he's got there. Subhuman says that cocktail line is definitely going to take some steam, but a reliable parlay piece. Appreciate you guys talking about my alcoholism. It's a public thing. I'm not drinking in the closet in the dark. That's for sure. Kelsey says, Mikey, I'm on Boston Yankees, Mariners -1.5, and the A's out there for Kelsey. And Oldie says, Trisha M, let's go Panthers. Everyone's celebrating their Panthers wins, but me. And that's okay. That's okay. We'll see. I mean, what am I going to do? Not take Edmonton now as they go back home? We'll see. We'll see. I don't like to talk about it too far in advance because then my feet get taped to the pedals and I can't take them off. And here we go. The Juggler 23 WNBA. Wise Guy group plays on the Dream -7, under Storm Sparks 159, and the Lynx +9.5. They played the Lynx last night. The line now 6.5. So use digression. Their record now is 20-10. How about that, you guys? He comes in here. He's giving you guys this every single day. He's giving you guys the WA Wise Guy action. And look at that record. 20-10. One push. 20-10. It's phenomenal, Juggler 23. We appreciate you coming in and sharing that goods with us, that good news. Kelsey's laughing at sub. Trisha M says, what a game. Raining all day here in South Florida. We're cleansing those dirty dog Oilers. And there's my guy, Lucky Power, says, what's up, Pimp? Smash the like, people. Guys, please do just that. Look, want to give you guys more content. All we need you to do is show us that you like the content that we're sharing on the regular basis with you guys. All kinds of things in the pipeline. And we got work to do. You guys know the deal. We got a lot to do tonight, not just for the show tonight, but a lot more behind the scenes work to go into what we're doing here for you guys. Trying to make it look good on top of it here. I got no tea on the ones and twos. Just a guy that barely knows what he's doing when it comes to the graphics. So it's going to be a project is what it's going to be. But let's talk about some cash tonight. Let's talk about how we're getting paid. Of course, you guys keep putting the plays in the chat. Keep sharing them updates as well. Let me move this over here. Yeah, it was truly a panic situation. I was like, I'm going to use my fucking phone. I'm going to put my iPhone up there and have like a little 30-minute short of me talking about some of these games. I didn't even have my notes in front of me. I was full panic, but 6:35 Eastern. I did have time to get these in. So that is important. That is important. Let's talk about this first game, and let's talk about this one because I saw a couple of you guys looking at some different sides on this one. I'll just give you my thoughts on it, but I'm rolling with the Atlanta Braves tonight. This line opened up +122 home dogs for them Baltimore O's, now +120. 40% of the bets and 87% of the cash pounding in on them home dog O's. Then we look at the total. It's gone from 8.5 to 7.5. We have 89% of the bets and 85% of the cash on the over. I'll tell you guys, one of the plays that I was considering making right off the hop today was I was going to take Atlanta and buy that back up to 8 and take the under. Atlanta in the under 8 at +190. I opted against it. Here's why. That line has moved a full run. You guys have heard me talk about it before. Anytime we see that full run movement on the total, I feel like it goes the opposite way. And by the way, if you're sitting there holding the 4.5 ticket and you're seeing that the line in the first 5 has moved to 3.5 and you're feeling good about yourselves, I'll be surprised to see 5 runs in this first 5 innings. I'm not trying to put an X at anybody's action, but this is that full run movement. We got Max Fried starting with the Atlanta Braves, 2.93 ERA, and he's 6-2 on the season. He's getting that run support. Surprisingly, the ace in the hole, I guess, for this Atlanta Braves staff. Then we've got Suarez on the other side for the Baltimore O's, 1.83 ERA, and he's 2-0 on the season. Young up-and-comer there, apparently, with this 2-0 season for this guy. They kind of sheltered him along the way to get the job done. And them O's, man, red hot, fresh off a sweep against Tampa Bay. You got to like what you saw there, unless you were me and you were on Tampa Bay in that last game there yesterday. 5-2 final. They did get the win. Congrats to all you guys that were talking about Baltimore being in that spot yesterday. The not overthink it play, I remember somebody said. And they got the job done. So kudos. Shout out. But we look at this Atlanta Braves team, 1-3 against that Washington National spot there. Not a good matchup are these Braves out there. But the trend I told you guys that I was looking at, dogs. First game of the series, it's a dog for a reason. They're 2-26 off a win as a favorite going back to May 1st this season. So we got about 6 weeks of data that kind of digest this thing and saying that when they're the dog in the first game and they're off a win as a favorite, They're 2-26. And that very much was Baltimore yesterday. Also, keep in mind, we have that travel spot. That game lingered into Monday to be a 4-game series against a divisional opponent, a divisional opponent out there, Baltimore and Tampa Bay. Now they're in a situation where we've got Atlanta with rest. They got that full day's rest in there. Baltimore in a travel spot. And we know that these dogs are in a bad 2-26 situation, losing by over 3 runs a game. I scratched the Atlanta in the under. I opted just to eat the juice and take this Atlanta Braves team. I'm going to back Max Fried. I think there's definitely some opportunity for regression from Max Fried. When you look at what's going on out there, some of these guys just dominate, but Max Fried definitely plays well against right-handed batters. He's got a .144, batting average out there, pitching average against them righties. That being said, though, I'm not a big fan of this travel spot. I know Baltimore, when they're facing a left-handed pitcher, they are 11-1 in their last 12. What that kind of tells me as I took a step back from it is there's that potential that we're going to see some runs in this game. There should be ducks on the pond pretty much the entire game, I think, with these boys here. I do expect Max Fried to go shove. I didn't want to get involved with the first 5. Look, we got plenty of baseball action tonight. This was an early start for me. I wanted to jump in and get on them Braves, and that's how I opened up my card tonight, and that's how we're going to get paid here in game number 1. 2-26. The dog in the first game of a series after winning as a favorite. Trap God says, I can't find the O's. It burned me too many, or I can't fade the O's. I got you. Yeah, I mean, not for the faint of heart. I know everybody likes this Baltimore team, but we talked about this yesterday. They have been so over-excelling, overachieving. At some point, we got to see a little bit of regression out there. And I don't know about as a first 5 situation. Again, they got some guys running down that bump, but at the same time, I like this Atlanta team. And we got a better number now. So, yeah, some late steam has come in there to kind of make this thing tick back up just a little bit on Atlanta. But I'm going to fade away on this cash, all this 95%. I have to tell you what, I don't want to be anywhere that there's 95% of the cash. So that's a little insight of how I leverage these numbers. 95 and higher, I'll either pass on the game, or in this case, I like this Brave spot, especially coming in with the rest. Coin says O's in a stretch of playing 16 straight days to begin June. Now they're coming against that rested team in the Atlanta Braves and Max Fried. I think it's a tricky spot, but that's how we're going to start this thing. Let's go. Kelsey says, what's Granny on the beach in sister's panties play? Ugh, that's a visual, isn't it, Kelsey? Let's roll game number 2 for you guys. The Detroit Tigers, the Washington Nationals. Got to keep this brisk pace. We got 3 more games after this, and then Billy Briz comes in to talk about the NBA. So it's going to be a little bit of a shorter card today. Got to get stabilized and get back on the winning ways. So let's see what we got. The Detroit Tigers line, 67% of the bets and 56% of the cash. Pounding on these Tigers. It's gone from a -104 to a -115. Cash is coming in on the Tigers. Now we've got the money pouring in and Vegas showing the concern. Here's a total situation. This line started at 8.5. It's moved to 8. We have 84% of the bets and 82% of the cash on the over. We look at these pitchers. It's Kenta Maeda with a 6.25 ERA. He's 2-2 on the season. We've got Mitch Parker for the Washington Nationals, 3.47, 4-3 record on the season. And he's had himself a pretty solid start for this season out there. Certainly a guy more than capable of going out there and shoving. Frankly, that's the reason why I stayed away from the first 5 in this game as well. We've got some guys on this Nationals team that have been running all over the place. Consistency with C.J. Abrams. He's got an RBI in 3 of his last 4 games. Jesse Winker's a spot that's 500 against Kenta Maeda. And what do we get from Kenta Maeda? Here's why I did not go first 5 with this game. What we saw that last time is Kenta Maeda only had 2 pitches in his last start. He strained some abdominal muscle. They cleared him to play, but I guess the challenge here is we don't know how long he's going to play, Justin McAuliffe. How many times did I say that today on Sharpie Show, Justin? That being said, here's the way I think about this game. First of all, I'll give you guys, let me start with this. If Kenta Maeda doesn't go deep in this game, if he only goes 3, then games 3 and 4 for the Tigers are going to be a problem. If they have to use an excessive amount of their bullpen pieces today because one of their star aces can't shove, That's going to be a problem that we're going to have to look at for games 3 and 4. We're going to keep our eyes on that and kind of measure that process. So we do have to kind of think strategically a little bit ahead of things here. But the Nationals. So look, we see the Nationals. We saw what they've been doing. They're out there running and gunning. They're mowing everybody down. They go out against this Atlanta Braves team, literally 3-1 in that series, 8-5, 7-3, 2-1. Lost that first game of the series, 5-2. Both teams coming in with rest, so that's really not a factor. The rest factor goes out the window. But how about this little gem? Here's a little nugget. Had to dig deep. Doesn't happen that often, but it happens since 2022. We can measure it. First game of a series for the Nationals after they played the Braves. Now, you guys know I love talking about some of those spots in the NHL. How does a team do when they return back from Vegas in the NHL? How do they do after they play so-and-so and so-and-so? Toronto Maple Leafs were one of them. The Leafs were the next team up. We had some great cashers with some of these opportunities, and this one is no different. When the Nationals previously played the Braves, and it's the first game of the next series, they're 0-10 in those spots. I don't know why the Nationals take the tax out of these guys here, or why the Atlanta Braves take the steam out of their sails, but they do. And we see that this line has opened up and it's moving in the direction of the Tigers. That's happening for a reason. The wild card here is, what do we get out of Kenta Maeda? I think we're going to see him rebound here. I don't have any suspicion other than just kind of my intuition telling me he wouldn't have been cleared. He came out early, kind of that abundance of caution. Let's get him out of this lineup. Hopefully he's back and he's ready to roll, but I still want the full game. I think the Tigers bullpen pieces can get it done. Are the Nationals going to change series, change opponents, and go out there and shove? Maybe. That trend is also 5-3 to the over. So if you were looking to try to get cute with a parlay piece here, I could see that Detroit Tigers and the over spot. Let me just take a look at what that looks like on the – I got to relog in here, of course, to literally everything shut down. Everything shut down but my power. Thank God my power didn't shut down. And, of course, dual authentication, just like you guys. I got to – I got to log into this shit, and I got to try to get it in and make it happen. Let's see what that Tigers in the over spot is, though. I do kind of have a feeling. Gerald Jones says Tigers, Washington over 8.5. And Justin says at least 25 times. Such a colorful, descriptive breakdown of that game as well here. So this line's sitting at 8 now. We see the 8s are out there. If we parlay this thing, the Tigers in the over 7.5 is plus 235. Plus 235 on that spot there. Saying it doesn't happen, but so again, if we look at the implied probability, there's a 25 or 30% chance that happens with the over being factored in. But I just told you it's 5-3 to the over for that Tiger spot as well. All right, I'm taking it. Detroit in the over 7.5. I do believe that there's guys that are going to hit on both sides of this thing. And if Maeda can't go deep and they have to go to the bullpen early, I think we're going to see some runs scored around there as well. So the over 235 as well. Let's get that there. Over 7.5 plus 235 is the number. Tigers and the over 7.5. I talked myself into it. That's the way it goes. Let's roll on. Let's go on to this next game for the show tonight for you guys here. So that's an ad. I'm adding that over there. There you go. There's the Granny's. What was it, Kelsey? Granny's sitting on the beach and your sister's, I don't know. Granny's on the beach. And I don't know what she's wearing, but I don't want to. So we got the Tigers and we got the over 7.5. We talked about the Braves. Let's roll on to this game here for you guys. Saw a lot of Cubs love today. You got this line here, 82% of the bets and 80% of the cash on, I'm sorry, what did I take the Cubs? Let me start that over. Reset. 57% of the bets and 81% of the cash on the Guardians, Cleveland. They open up as minus 124 road favorites. What are they doing right now? They're minus 105, 57% of the bets, 81% of the cash on the Guardians. The line is dropped. Then we look at the total, sitting at 9, 67% of the bets, 67% of the cash on the over. And that's where it sits, sitting on the 9. Has not moved. Now, I saw a bunch of you guys. Let's see. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Billy Briz is almost ready to go. So let's talk about how I looked at this game and this approach here. My hitting dashboards are lit up with this Cincinnati Reds team. Lit up. Yesterday, I told you guys, I looked across the dashboard, those hitting dashboards. Nobody had success or even experience. They never even saw a pitch against those pitchers yesterday. All but one game went under the total yesterday. So that was a pretty dialed in, reflection, I guess, of what was taking place in terms of these hitting dashboards and how they cash for us or how we can use them to cash. We've got Suter going with a 3.86 ERA for the Cincinnati Reds. And this guy's had no luck with these Reds. They was at 5-2. I think it depends on what the totals were, but yeah, it was an under day for sure. And, shout out to Daddy Cat. He got them Padres team total over. So good on him, but that's like their third team total over in literally the month. So that game stayed under, I believe, as well. Nonetheless, Sutter, 3.86 ERA, 0-0, no run support. Then we've got Tristan McKenzie, 4.17 ERA, 2-3 on the season for this guy out there. And I don't expect him to have a strong day. In fact, if you want to look at this thing, I took the first 5 in the full game. Let's look at Tristan McKenzie's experience at Great American Ballpark. His last 3 starts, 8 home runs he's allowed. So you guys that are looking at Ellie De La Cruz, even Stevenson sitting down there in like the 6th spot or whatever. Jake Fraley's another good guy to have an opportunity to go out there and smash. And I think that's what happens here. I think we finally see this guy in Sutter getting his win. I think that first 5 is priced at -120 for a reason. And we look at recent form, specifically with McKenzie at the park, and he struggled. I think that's a reason behind it as well. We know it's a hitter's park, and we know the Cincinnati Reds team is starting to open up. I do like the double dip in this one because despite Cleveland having the best bullpen in the game, they look at these two teams, they're pretty much a 50-50 spot. I talked about the AL East opponents. When they play each other, they kind of roll to a 50-50 situation. That's what happens here when we see Cincinnati and Cleveland as well. They're kind of 50-50 coin flips. Who's going to get the job done here? I got to go to recent form with the pitcher. He struggles in this ballpark. We got this Reds team heating up. Now I like Ramirez. I could certainly get behind Ramirez, but again, recent form, a 3-1 game against them Chicago Cubs, 8-4, 3-2, 4-3. They finally lost that last game of the series 4-2. Now they've got that day's rest as well. We look at Cleveland's rested. Cleveland went 2-1 against the Miami Marlins, 6-3 win, 8-0 win, but they lost the first game of the series. That was the travel spot. This is another travel spot, first game of the series. The thing that kind of impressed me, if I go back 2 series, the Colorado Rockies, I thought would match up better against the Reds, and the Reds put them down. I mean, the Reds hurt them real good, top to bottom, including that last game, a 12-7 spot. Then we look at the first game out of Coors, and we tend to see that it phases these guys a little bit. The altitude and the differential with travel affects them. Not the Reds. They went out and won that next game against the Cubs, who were streaking at the time, 8-4. I think the Reds team has the mojo, the momentum they need to get this thing going. I saw some Steam reports this morning. Steam that first 5. They expect Sutter to get the job done as well. There's been a little bit of late movement on the total. It was 110 when I kind of put this thing together for the show. I guess it's popped back up. There's a -108. Now we're back to -110s, -115s as well. So there was a little dip about 20 minutes before my power went out on the Cincinnati Red, or on the internet went out. As it's come back in, we're back to these -110 spots. So there's that -108 that's currently sitting out there at Bet Rivers, probably one of the better numbers out there from a Major League Baseball betting perspective. Bet Rivers seems to have themselves some good things going on there. I think it's a good spot for us to double up. So let's see what we got there. Robbie says, Rob McMahon, what up, Mikey Money? Best bet, Nerfy in the Brewers game. I went 1-1 yesterday. The Yankees, Nerfy, busted, but the Yankees game did go under. So I like a Nerfy. I'm always fun to play a sweaty 6 and go out there and sweat that intense first inning out there, hoping those pitchers come out and shove. Why not? Brewers are firing right now too. So I don't, big bounce back opportunity. Jay Peasy, the Braves are 7-3 on a Tuesday. All 3 losses on the road. Oh no. I don't like to see that, Peasy. How about the first game of a series? Do we have that data? Do we see what it wouldn't matter because if they lost all 3 of them on the road, they still lost out there. Trish M says, OD like the Mets money line under 7.5 odds, total runs -3 plus 375 out there. I think I had something on that Mets here. The Mets. Who are the Mets playing? Let's look. They're playing the Mountains. Oh, that's right. Jesus Luzardo. The Mets, when they're home against a left-handed pitcher, they're 4-6. They're 3-7 on the run line, but they are 7-3 to the over. Didn't make the board for me. 87% of the bets, 97% of the cash on the Mets. Boy, this line went from minus 134 to minus 152. This falls into the 95% theory out there. And Jesus Luzardo, I'll just talk about this one on the fly, but Jesus Luzardo, came back from the injury, struggled a little bit here. So he might be due for this bounce back. And of course, we just saw, who was it the Mets just traded him out to Oakland, the game we're going to talk about next. Lindor, I believe, right? Didn't Lindor just get traded? I don't know why he's still showing up here on this Mets side of things. I'm pretty sure Lindor just got traded yesterday to the Oakland Athletics. Somebody back me up and tell me I'm wrong in that spot. But Rob McMahon says, nobody's better than the pimp. Take notes, fellow cappers. Smash that like button to show support for Mike Money. Appreciate you, Rob McMahon. That's kind of you to say. Thank you for those kind words. Dana Delp says, Trisha M. No Beavis here is a good thing. Hope he's You guys are too funny. Tarek B says, what up, Big Mike? The Mariners had a pitcher change at the last minute. We heard that. So I'm going to look at that game here as well. And the last game that I've got for you guys on the hop today, let's see. We'll see if I decide to go back in there with this White Sox team here. I guess I got 2 more games to go. I got to speed it up. I got Billy's going to be ready to roll. Speaking of those Oakland Athletics, here we go. The Athletics open up as plus 126 dogs. They're now plus 138 dogs. And the Padres, there they are, the fathers. Minus 148 have moved to minus 156. 93% of the bets, 99% of the cash on the Padres. Can I just speak honestly for a second here? Let me say candidly. I told you guys I hate when people say that. I'm going to stop saying that. Who the fuck's putting all that money on the San Diego Padres with Vasquez? He's 5-4 on the season. He's 1-3. You ain't watch what's going on with these Padres? I don't want to get into it again. Don't get me started on these San Diego Padres. That being said, they probably are in a position to get this job done, but you want to bet a minus 167 on a team that can't get past 3 runs on a consistent basis? And you're bringing in JP Sears, 3.93 ERA, 4-5 on the season. I like the first 5 in the spot here. I think the lack of ability for the Padres to score early to me shines through here. And I see a plus 128 right now. So, caught a little bit better VIG, but there are 124s, 125s, and 120s out there. So we're all still in the realm. Didn't they trade Lindor to the Oakland Athletics? I swear to God, I saw that. I swear it was the Mets, and I swear they traded him to the Oakland Athletics. Somebody check that out for me if you could. I'd appreciate it. But I'm rolling in here. I'm taking JP Sears and company to get the job done here. Oh, what's going on there? What is going on there? Somebody hacking in? Are we getting hacked today? Is that what happened? Did I piss somebody off and they're trying to hack my shit? Stop it, whoever that is here. JP Sears, lefty. Couple of bad starts for this guy, but recent performance. Only allowed 2 or fewer runs in 3 of his last 5 starts. The Padres against lefties don't strike out a lot. 17.7% K rate. But 122 ISO out there, I think is a good opportunity. Now, the offense for the Athletics definitely leaves something to be desired, but the way I'm attacking this game is a lot like we talked about with the White Sox spot yesterday. When I look at the implied probability with a guy like Vasquez at 5.4 ERA and 1-3 on the season, seeing what's going on with this Oakland Athletics and JP Sears probably being maybe the bright spot in their offense out there. I think they get a couple guys on base from Vasquez here. 5.4 ERA with a 1-3 record shows me that he starts out struggling, he leaves struggling, and the team can't rebound against it because they don't score enough runs. That's exactly why I want to jump in on this first 5 for the Oakland Athletics. I'm not going to mess with the full game. You shout out yesterday. I know we talked about, was it the White Sox game that we talked about too, where I did the line shopping, where we looked at what if it was tied in the first 5 and then Seattle comes back and wins the game and it was plus 650 versus the plus 900 for, White Sox or whatever the case was there. Kind of a similar situation. I wouldn't be surprised if the Oakland Athletics get this first 5 and then San Diego comes back and wins the full game. Maybe it's a 3-2 situation out there, but that's the way I expect this one to go down out there. We're going to keep this pace moving. We got our guy ready to roll. I told you guys I was going to look at this White Sox spot. Let me just take a quick peek. 9:40 p.m. It's Diaz versus Thorpe. Yeah, this is a quick decision for me. Plus 140 at Caesars, plus 136, 135s, 130s, and 114s. Diaz 0-0 on the starting situation for the season as well. I bet you what happened here is Seattle looked at Thorpe and said, this rookie's going to make his debut. Let's put a young gun out there that doesn't have any starts as well. Maybe they go to the bullpen pieces for the game there as well. We saw that the White Sox can keep this thing rolling in the first 5. It's the rest of the game that their bullpen completely shits the bed. Plus 140. Great price point, I think, right now, given this great info from you guys with the pitching change for me. I'm just going to be short and sweet to it because we got our boy ready to roll. Last game for me on the card is, in fact, a double dipper as we get cooking here in Major League Baseball. There it is for you guys. Let's look into this game just a little bit. We got a couple interesting matchups as well down the bump. I think it was our guy Juggler23 talked about that Texas Rangers Dunning spot. I'd like to get into there, but Gerald Jones says off Seattle, next best, Washington, Detroit over 8. Here we go. And the Mets run line first 5. Let's see. Let me pull this Angels information up here. Angels and Diamondbacks. This line opened up at minus 180 in favor of Arizona. We know what happens when Arizona's the home favorite in the first game of a series. 86% of the bets. There's that 95% of the cash on the Diamondbacks. The lines dropped 25 cents. Then we look at the total, 9. Now, it does have 92% of the bets and 92% of the cash. It's Montgomery and Suarez. I like the first 5 more than the full game in this total over. I'm going to hit them both, though, because I expect there to be enough runs that fly in this first 5. We got Montgomery on the bump, 6.8 ERA, 3-4 on the season. There's another Suarez with the Los Angeles Angels, 6.54 on the season, 1-0 to get the job done. So if you dissect, I know it's only one start for this guy, or one win for this guy, but 6.54 ERA means he is puking up runs when he gets out there and starts on the bump. And Montgomery, 6.8. This is another situation. I could see the Angels being a play in this game here. I haven't officially pulled the trigger on it, at least the first 5. What are we looking at here? Do I want to triple up in this game? I'll think about it. Well, we get our guy Billy Briz talking about this one here. Fernando Mendoza says Seager is out against Rangers. Yurfie in his pocket there for our guy Justin McCalvey for this game here. You look at this one. Both these teams dismantle lefties. They just crush them. They eat them up like it's, I don't know, like it's that Club Baby Seal been thrown on the grill. They got the Arizona Diamondbacks have the 4th best OBA against lefties with a 3.38 OBA against left-handed pitchers. The Angels are the 5th highest with a .334 ERA. Now they're just putting Jose Suarez back into this rotation. So I think Arizona does score. I think I'm going to stay off that first 5. I'm just going to stick with the first 5 over 4.5 and the full game here. I want these lefties to have some success, but I see these numbers with their OBAs, and I just don't see how it's going to get there. The Arizona bullpen, though, this is the other component to it. We get to 5 in the first 5. The Arizona bullpen's terrible. 5.63 ERA their last 32 innings, which is basically the last week. So in the last week, you got a pitcher going on the mound in Arizona at 6.8 ERA, and then you got a bullpen going in with a 5.63 ERA. I don't know how we don't see runs in this one. Montgomery's let up 14 runs in his last 6 innings pitched. So think about this. This is how this one breaks down. 14 earned runs, 6 innings. That's 2 starts. He's not going through the full rotation at least once. These guys are finding early success on this guy. Justin, I totally get the Yurfie. That makes a ton of sense to me. You got a guy that's not going through the rotation a full time, 2 innings or 3 innings he's getting out there. Then what's happening? Then they're bringing in this 5.63 ERA bullpen. You know what? I talked myself into the full game. Recognizing I want runs in this game, and I see the full game sitting at plus 135. This will be a triple up spot for me. It's a good thing it's a later spot. I got some time to put it in, but yeah, give me this Angels team. These numbers make a lot of sense. Montgomery stinks. The bullpen stinks. Everyone's eating up lefties on both sides of this thing for runs. I wouldn't be mad at anybody that wanted to parlay these two together as well. Sometimes you talk the numbers out loud and you find that late spot to go get it done. Nutflush Allen there, a resident team total whisperer. I think you can play team total over and full game over in the Arizona game. So he's expecting runs given up by by Suarez. He thinks Suarez gives up some runs. I think so. I think that's exactly what we see here. And that's going to do it for the baseball card for you guys here. We'll get our guy ready to roll as soon as I see his camera pop back on. We got 3 WNBA games to talk about tonight. And we got plenty of time to do it. There he is, in fact. You know, guys, you loved him on Last Call. He is the ninja of the hardwood. And he's got a whole bunch of other titles. But for today's purposes, let's bring on Billy Briz. First guest on Pregaming, my guy. You were the first guest over on Last Call when you had a hell of a run. The most successful NBA capper we have. Bringing him on over. He said, absolutely, let's go. What can we do? And I said, we got some WNBA tonight. Billy, I've had an up and down spot there, but I don't know if you're familiar with our guy Juggler 23. He's been bringing in some of this overnight steam reports there, the Wise Guy steam action. He's got himself a nice little 20-10 record rolling out here to start the WNBA season.
Okay.
How about you, man? I know you're smashing the card here. You're smashing the board. Another under points, rebounds, and assists for Caitlin Clark yesterday. Shout out to the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, shouts to Caitlin Clark. She got beat up last night. I mean, Carrington's picking her up full court, but it's been a good month for me for WNBA. 21-14-1 here.
Oh yeah,
been good.
Oh yeah, just getting started, my guy. Just took the cap off the bottle. Let's go. Let's get that thing rolling. Let me ask you this first: why all the hate for Caitlin Clark? What the fuck is going on? She's not even on the Team USA.
In my opinion, I'm a fan.
Yeah, what's wrong with the league? Why aren't they embracing winners? What the fuck's happening out there?
Well, the Indiana Fever are just bad. Like, if there was like a betting odds for first coach fired this year, the Fever coach would be like minus 500.
Really? Now, do you think I know we talked a little bit about some of the trades and pieces.
She's not a point guard.
Yeah.
She didn't play point guard in college. She probably hasn't played point guard since like middle school. Like, she isn't a point guard. They kind of need to have her play off ball, set a screen, catch the ball in the wing, dribble, do whatever. Yeah, but I'm just the guy that smokes weed and watches the game that's on it. So what do I?
You were the second string guy for the women's college basketball team. So, you know, that being said, I mean, you're a little more than that. Do you think the Fever make a trade before their deadline to make some things out? You think they wait till the end of the season?
End of the season.
Shit the bed enough and then go grab another piece of top talent and then make the rotation.
Hashtag tank for Paige Beckers. Paige Beckers was supposed to come out in this year's draft, but she stayed for another year at UConn, and I would say she's by far and away the best player in college basketball next year.
That's why you are the WNBA whisperer. You already know who's going to be the top draft pick next year, and this year's just getting started. But we got some games tonight, Billy. We got 3 games tonight. I'm not sure where you've got action in, but I'll just kind of toss them out there and see what you've got for us to get this job done. The Mystic and the Dream. The Mystics open at plus 7.5. They've gotten steamed down a little bit. They're now 6.5. So they had 65% of the bets and 78% of the cash. The total is a coin flip, 50-50, 0 movement. Is tonight the Mystics get their first win of the season, or are they in the tank for Paige category here? What's going
on? This is one I ended up having a lot of action on, surprisingly. This is like, honestly, my whole card as of right now. We got a little bit of news just recently that Shakira Austin will not give it a go tonight. She will be out for this one. And I don't know how quickly the books are going to adjust. If they will adjust, I don't give a fuck. But Aaliyah Edwards, the rookie, over 6.5 rebounds, minus 122, over 9.5 points, minus 130, over 16.5 points and rebounds, minus 130, and her double-double prop at plus 470. She's just been smashing without Shakira Austin in the lineup. She's gone over 4 out of her last 6 games, never going below 5 rebounds. This is a good spot for her against the Atlanta Dreams front court. I think she ends up smashing. She didn't do that well in the last game, but it was a bad matchup for her. If I'm not to be mistaken, they played the Liberty with Jacquel Jones and Breanna Stewart down low, so that's not that good of a matchup. But she played 30 minutes. She only had 9 points and 6 rebounds, and that's a bad game. And that's like basically where the prop is now. A game against Indiana, she played 29 minutes, 10 points, 12 rebounds, double-double there. The game before that against the Chicago Sky, 23 points, 14 rebounds, double-double there, smashed. The Connecticut Sun, which is a pretty tall front court, and Alyssa Thomas and Brianna Jones. She had 14 points, 9 rebounds. So her minutes are trending up, and the production's trending up. And I think she smashes in the spot tonight. But when it comes to the side, I got to pull this one up here. Washington's still winless, but they've been covering these first halves ATSs. They're 8-3-1 first half ATS this season, and 6-1 first half ATS on the road this season. So it's like really the second half that they're blowing these games. Atlanta usually gets off the slow starts. It's usually like a team I end up live betting, and the numbers kind of support it as well. They're 2-7 first half ATS this season, and 0-5 first half ATS at home this season. So I like the Washington Mystic team total over 37.5 at -130. A little bit more than the spread. I just feel like they're going to score points. Because when I originally looked at this game, I mean, anytime you see the Washington Mystics, you just think under. But digging into it, it was like, no, I actually think this game is going to go over. And the way they've been shooting has been pretty good. The fourth best three-point shooting team, averaging 80+ in their last 3 games. I feel like they're trending closer towards the win. But if they're going to win a game, they're going to have to start off a game hot,
I like it. I like the Edwards rebound spot there. I just put that action in myself. Inside news there from our guy Billy Briz to give us the way to get paid. And I love them first half numbers, man. I know you shared that one in the chat with us, and we all smashed that. I think it was the Sky in the first half, maybe a week ago, I believe.
Yeah, a week ago. Yeah, the Sky first half. That was a good little spot.
Wasn't that the one where the coach was out? The coach
was out. Coach, super weird. Super weird situation.
Now, Flush Allen likes hearing the team totals. He says, now Billy's talking my language. Team totals out there. Billy, 10 p.m., we got the Sparks and the Storm. And again, a situation, 62% of the bets and 86% of the cash smacking these Sparks. Your LA Sparks, if I'm not mistaken. No, you're the Mercury guy. Are you Mercury or Sparks?
Mercury guy. I'm a
That's
Mercury.
Right. That's right. I remember we talked about the LA Sparks because they play in shit houses, though. They don't play in the big stuff.
They've been throwing them back in the crypto.com arena. They've been in the crypto.
They're getting a little love. How about that? This total's gone from 158.5 to 158. So a half point of downward movement with 62% of the bets. The Sparks are 4-7. The Storm are 7-4. And I was looking at this game here. I had a little thought about maybe trying to get in on Skylar Diggs Smith here, but you tell me what's going on. Diggins Smith, what do you think is happening with this game? How do we get paid?
It's a tough game. I will say I've been surprised by how the Sparks have been playing. They beat the Aces on Sunday. They're big dogs in that one, plus 10.5. They won 96-92. They're on a 2-game win streak, but that was like a 3-game homestand for them. Now they're going on the road. I feel like the public hasn't really noticed Seattle is kind of like a super team. The way that they're set up with Jewel Lloyd, NECA, Izzy, and Skylar Diggins, I would say like it's definitely one of their deeper teams in the WNBA this year. Back at home in a Commissioner Cup game where they lost against the Lynx, not only lost but got embarrassed 64-83. Now back at home, they're still in contention for the West. So a lot of high breakaways type thing, point differential. So it's a game that they definitely need to win. I feel like it's kind of being priced in. It's kind of being baked into the line a little bit. But I would lean Seattle in the under.
Seattle in the under. Well, that kind of correlates with what Juggler 23 was sharing with some of that wise guy group play action there with the under in the Storm Spark. It's gone from 159 to 158. So in good company there with this under. And bring us home. We got this big one going off. 10 p.m. The Lynx and the Aces. The Link moved from +9 to +6.5. Tons of cash coming in, Billy. 74% of the bets, 94% of the cash on the road team here. Is it just a situation where the Aces just keep catching too many points? I mean, you look at their record, 5-4 on the season. The Lynx, though, 8-3. Are they a competitive threat for these Aces? Looking to go, are they Aces trying to three-peat here? What's going on with this game? I see Keith, every strides in the house. What up, Keith? Says, I like the Vegas Aces -6.5 and a bounce back effort. Billy Briz, what say you?
On the surface, it does feel like too many points because we've been joking with Joe T that he should be giving up his Timberwolves fandom for the Lynx because the Lynx have been looking so good this year. I mean, the Lynx have been like, I would say the biggest surprise team in the WNBA this season for me has been the Minnesota Lynx. Like, they've been smashing teams this year. I mean, coming off that 83-64 win, like we were just talking about against Seattle, I mean, that's damn near a super team. I mean, the Pisha Collier is right up there in the race for MVP against Asia Wilson, who's probably the betting odds favorite for MVP this year. The Aces, I wouldn't read too much into that Los Angeles Sparks game. Jackie Young was out for that game. They had Kate Money Martin in the starting lineup last game. She made her first start ever in the WNBA. We're always fans of Kate Martin because she played with Caitlin Clark. And you would see Caitlin Clark and you'd be like, yeah, she's cool and all that, but who's that cute blonde girl over there in the corner? Ended up being Kate Money Martin. And now she's out here for the Aces balling. I'm a big fan of the Aces, but two-game losing streak, I wouldn't be looking to bet against them is what I'm kind of getting towards here. I kind of lean towards this game going over as square of a take that is. Kind of contrarian with the numbers because both of them have good defensive numbers, but the way the Aces have been playing basketball right now, they haven't been stopping a nosebleed. I mean, the LA Sparks scored 92 points against you. Like, I mean, how do you not lean towards the over? It's a weird one, not one of my favorite ones, but I think it's a good live betting spot scenario. Maybe you get the Aces at plus money or something like that if the Lynx get off to a crazy start because the Aces have been I would say just a long road trip because the one game that they had at home was a one-off home game. So it's basically like a road game if you have a road game right after that. So I think the Aces bounce back, but man, it's not something I'm looking to run to the window with at -6.5. It feels a little bit inflated. Like if I had to line this game, I would probably line the Aces at -3.5.
It's interesting. So yeah, when you talk about the total, you're right. It's kind of contrarian because you've got 85% of the bets coming in on the under, yet the line's moved up 4 points from the original, early line there. Same thing on the total, right? Or the side, the 9 down to 6.5. I just feel like the WNBA, because it's so damn sharp with the initial lines being set, that after you see all that movement, maybe you start thinking about the other direction there. So 9 down to 6.5 does mean if the Link get up early, you might be able to catch that even money, even a plus money line spot there when you're laying 6.5 pre-flop. Seems like a great way to get paid.
Yeah, I mean, just the way kind of following the trends, just the way the Aces have been playing, it's usually like a triumphant second half effort in these last like 3 games. Dallas, the game that they won 95-81, that game was damn near tied going into that fourth quarter, and they end up winning that game by double digits. The game before that, they lost against the Dream. They kind of blew that one late. Seattle, they blew them out, but that game was kind of competitive in the first half, and the Sparks game. So it seems like a lot of the times that with the Aces is like they're getting off the slow starts and finishing up pretty well. So maybe a Lynx first quarter team total over would probably be a option.
Joe T says that he's a little behind. He heard the give up the Timberwolves. He's moved on.
That's it. I mean, looking at this though, but back to the team total quarter, the Lynx first quarter team total overs 19.5 at -145.
19.5. Their team total is 76.5. And the Aces is all the way up to 85.5. This game does kind of have a feeling like we're going to see some points on both sides here. Maybe defense be damned.
Yeah, probably like a 90-86 finish.
Yeah, something high scoring that comfortably cashes this over. Interesting spot there. Great stuff though, my guy. You came in, you rocked. Do you have any baseball? Any baseball that you want to share with anybody while you're here?
Nope.
Not going to go to the diamond tonight. I like it. I appreciate that.
But I appreciate Aaliyah Edwards props. I mean, you got to get that double in that plus 470.
Well, I do appreciate you coming in here, rocking and rolling tonight, the first guest on Pregaming. And that means a lot, man. Thank you for coming in. Tell them what you got going on. I know you took some time away from your UFC prep to get ready to talk some WNBA. What's going on in the world of combat sports and Billy Briz?
Yeah, follow me over at getting _Bills_ a nice little UFC free play up for this weekend. So make sure you go check it out over on X, as the kids call it nowadays.
Rocking, of course, you guys got the big Saturday stream as well. And lots of things happening in the summer with the UFC. I saw some movement there. Conor McGregor fight's got some issues to it there. They're changing times around for UFC 303. We got some LFA. We got some PFL. There's a lot of things coming up on the horizon. When does Dana White Contender Series start?
End of this month.
Well, we got to make sure we dial you in for that. Love to hear what you have to say about them up-and-coming bucks out there trying to get the job done. That's great, man. Do you mind recapping what you got going on, and then we can get everybody on up out of here? Give us your
it's actually pretty long, to be honest with you. Aaliyah Edwards over 6.5 rebounds, over 16.5 points and rebounds, over 9.5 points, and her double prop, all as straight bets. Washington Mystics first half money line plus 186, and the Washington Mystics first half team total over 37.5 at minus 130.
Shout out Billy Briz giving you guys the breakdown and all the goods. The chat loves to see you. They love your WNBA insight and everything else that you bring to the table. So it means a lot to have you come out here and spend some time as we're trying to get this thing up and running, my guy. And we'll do it again soon for sure.
Thank you, Mikey. Have a good night. Shouts to everybody out there in the chat. Let's go make some money tonight.
Appreciate my guy, Billy Briz, coming out there sharing the goods for you guys, man. There you go. 3 WNBA games busted up by our guy, Billy Briz. You saw Juggler 23's action out there as well. And, of course, a suite of Major League Baseball action. I'll give you guys the rundown again. Tigers for me, minus 112, and the Tigers in the over 7.5 at plus 235. Atlanta, minus 135. The Cincinnati Reds, first 5, minus 120. Full game, minus 108. I did add the White Sox first 5. I'm sorry, White Sox first 5, I believe. No. Let me see here. White Sox first 5 plus 140 was the number. Then we got the Angels over 4.5, the game over 9, and the Angels on the plus 135, and the Oakland Athletics at plus 128. You guys are awesome. Thanks for coming back again to hang out with us tonight. We got to get paid. We got to get this thing moving in the right direction. Joe T says, come on, please get the likes up and subscribe so we can bring more stuff to you guys. Absolutely, guys. On the way out the door, hit that thumbs up button for us. And, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn the notifications on. We got all kinds of things popping out. We're going to have some recorded content for you guys. We're going to do some educational pieces like some of the stuff we talked about yesterday as it relates to implied probability, reading lines, looking for soft spots and things like that as well. And a whole suite of guys coming in to give you guys all you need to know to get paid and get that cash. Appreciate everybody. David Wallace, Deerslayer Ski, Old E, Keith, each every stride. You guys are awesome, man. Juggler 23, thanks for bringing that good data. And Jason Mayer in the house. Appreciate you hanging out. Nut Flush, our team total whisperer, coming in there, giving us the looks. Justin McCalvey, Tarek B, Skunt Blaster, Trisha M, JPZ. Shout out to all you guys that came out here today. Ricky Levine, Kapansky. Can't wait to get it going again. We'll be back again, same time, same place tomorrow, 6 p.m. It's over here on Sports Money. Help us spread the word. Tell a friend, and then ask them to tell a friend. We got to get this thing rolling and want to keep bringing you guys all the goods. Until tomorrow, get that cash, baby. Good luck to everybody.